Hello, this is the video for dress number 1. Dress number 1 has a V neckline. We're going to discuss short sleeves or no sleeves, and it also has an inverted pleat. Okay, I'm going to start off with my square of fabric. So I've got a square of 9-inch Tana cotton lawn, and I've interfaced it with some cotton Pellon. Shape Flex, I think, is the brand. Okay, so I'm going to start off by folding right sides together. And just pressing. And then I'm going to peel back and create almost like a pleated fan effect. Almost like the fans used to make when you were in primary school. Okay, I'm going to call this stage 1, which is the pleated fan. Right, we're going to open out our fan. And you see the creases that I've made here. We're going to bring those into the center. So creating an inverted pleat. Just using a dry iron at the moment. It may be that it needs a shop steam at some point. Okay, so this is what I'm going to call key stage 2. This is the inverted pleat that's complete. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over and then fold wrong sides together up towards that top edge, and I'm probably about 1/4 of an inch down from that top edge. I'm going to pop in a crease. I'm then going to fold it back on itself, probably by about 1/2 inch, to create a separate bodice. Turn it back the right way, and you can see that I've created a waist separate to the bodice. So this is the skirt section and that is the bodice section. Okay, so this is key stage 3, creating the waist. Okay, let's turn it over. And we'll now look at creating the neckline. So the V neckline, what you want to do is you want to get hold of those creases in there. Can you see those? And pull them back. Okay? So you want to pull them back like that. I'll do that again. So you peel that one down, and it's that crease there that you're after, and that one there. And you're going to pull them down into almost like a square situation. So it will sit nice and flat. There's a point at which it will sit neatly. Okay, just going to pop a couple of clips in, stop things going astray. Turn it over for you so you can see it. So that was key stage 4, creating the neckline, the V neckline. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold the sides in, but only down as far as the bodice. And I'm going to pop a little clip in here. And I'm going to do the same the other side. So I'm folding it completely straight. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel them back on themselves to make a little bit of a sleeve. Try and get that one nice and neat. Okay. So this is key stage 5, creating the sleeves. Now, if you didn't want that sleeve, you wanted to make it sleeveless instead, all you'd do is you'd fold down the edge and then fold the edges in. Does that make sense? So you would fold them in like this, which would then make you a sleeveless dress. Okay, let's go back to where we were with the sleeves. Give it a little press so that it remembers where it was. There we go. So finally, to create the skirt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the sides slightly so that I can iron a little diagonal in position. So it's up to you how much you want it to flare out at this point, but you're going to need to loosen up if you're using the clover clips. Okay. Okay, so there is your dress number 1, style number 1. And what I would do next is I would go in and I would sew. So you're going to sew, and I would use an invisible thread. You're going to sew all the way along here to keep this section together and up the sides of your dress. It's up to you whether you want to sew up the sides and round the neckline and down. But I just used a monofilament clear thread to do that, and I was probably an eighth, probably less than an eighth in all the way around. I didn't really want to make it super visible. Something you may want to sort of focus in on as well is once you start splaying the skirt out a bit, then these folds here will drop, but that is quite normal. So when you sew across with your monofilament thread, those don't get completely caught in, but that's not a problem. The size of the dress also is dependent on how much this you take out of the back. So if you want to make a shorter dress, then take a bigger wedge. If you want to make a longer dress, you make a shorter wedge. So as I say, that's about 1/2 inch. And that worked out for me. When I finished the dresses though, I did take a pair of scissors and I cut off about just over 1/2 inch, just less than 1/2 inch, around 1/2 inch off the bottom, so that they would fit in the boxes on my quilt. Okay, so yes, here is the one Blue Peter fashion that I made earlier. You see this one's a little bit more splayed out, and also it's got a bigger section crease here.